Okay.
You do? Nope. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to call to order City of Las Vegas Arts Commission. Our meeting of January 19th, 2012. Let me remind everybody, items may be taken out of the order presented at the discretion of the chair. 2 or more agenda items for consideration may be combined, and any item on the agenda may be removed, or related discussion may be delayed at any time. Call to order. Our roll call, please. Oh, no. Are we in compliance, first of all?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Seeing as we've been properly noticed, roll call, please.
Chair McCoy,
Here?
Vice Chair Parrott,
Here?
Commissioner Novak,
Here.
Commissioner Denton,
Here.
Commissioner Diener,
Here.
Commissioner Blue,
Here.
Commissioner Schneider, excused, and Commissioner Grogan.
Here. Great, thank you. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, give your name for the record, the amount of discussion, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed. That may be limited. Item number 4, for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular meeting of December 15th, 2011. Everyone should have received that, and if you didn't, it is in your binder.
Also, do you want to note that the other commissioners that are excused, Jerry Shelton?
Thank you, Bill.
Has everyone had a chance to read, digest? Are there any changes, additions, deletions? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Any discussion? Changes? We have a motion to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Councilman or Commissioner Grogan would like to abstain since I was absent.
Okay, we'll
So noted. Thank
reflect
you.
that.
Nowak will as well.
Do we have enough to approve?
Yeah, I think so. They can abstain, and we're fine. Number 5, for report and possible action regarding the approval of the 1221 Gallery Artist Plan for the community-based public art project working in partnership with Repurpose America and First Friday LLC in Ward 3.
I've got a printout from home.
This is our ongoing discussion with Repurpose America. And Maura?
Yes. We met with a couple of artists, and Anthony Muniz, who's sort of a roster, has become a project coordinator of sorts, and he brought in Jesse Smigel to be sort of a lead artist. And he has these confirmed collaborators, and it's going to be up to their discretion how they divvy up the funds, but and he has a lot of other names that we were very excited about, people that he thought would want to be involved, but he hasn't heard back from all of them.
Are they listed here?
Yes.
Okay,
they are.
these are the folks that are listed then.
Yes.
Okay.
And in any case, because it's collaborative, they can come in if they will, but we're really excited about the ideas he had, and he's a 3D artist, and he does stage sets, and there's a few biographical details about those guys.
I don't have to wear special glasses.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Flying styrofoam.
That's right. Just checking.
And is this for Jesse? All
I
right,
just printed it out off his website.
Oh, okay, yeah. He sent in a bio. He's a theatrical carpenter and scenic artist, and some of you might know at the Atomic Testing Museum he made the giant cloud. And he has a good relationship with a lot of artists and some really good ideas. So, and he knows Zach Delbecks of Repurpose America already, so he's kind of familiar with their procedures and how for artists they can get raw materials, and they pay by the pound, but once they are contracted, and I believe he has a contract, I don't know whether he's turned it in, then they can meet with Repurpose America and work out what they want to get from them and and their supplies.
Okay. S-
So we're still planning to have a table or some sort of a kiosk for information about the Arts Commission, Repurpose America, and the project.
At First Friday.
Yes. So we're hoping that, they'll launch it at February, but it's a 3-month thing, so it'll be evolving as we go.
Did we
month to
solve
month.
the storage issue at all?
Possibly. He's a co-owner with Gina Quanto of Blackbird Studios, and she used to be in Place Gallery across the street. It's a big empty space now.
Oh,
So he was looking into that, and he's also looking into getting one of those orange storage boxes, and you can rent them temporarily, and it kind of goes door to door, so it can even take the materials from one place and bring them back. or
so we
from-
think we've got it solved then.
We think. And there's a,
Mar-
pardon?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
You said it'll be for three First Fridays?
Yeah, we were thinking February, March, April, and then the invitational is in May
Okay,
that the Arts Commission sponsors.
okay.
Depending on how it goes, some of these artists might continue at the invitational. We'll see.
Okay. Lisa, can I ask you what the schedule is for Burning Man?
They are looking at March 2nd, but they won't be using the Boulder Plaza.
That's
They
what
will
I
be
thought.
participating at the March 2nd, First Friday on Casino Center near Colorado, I believe.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I guess my question is, then what action do we need to take today, if any?
How is it written?
I think we'd like to move forward with the artists and sort of the general proposal. I know the artists, because this is so fast-tracked, they're really just getting the artists together. But there's definitely interest with Jesse Smigel, and he's got connection to some really top-tier artists.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Shepard and
It's a nice list.
yeah, so I think it's going to involve, we just want the okay to sort of move forward with the general concept. I know they know that we want to engage the public during First Fridays. They can also do projects not on First Fridays, but they definitely have to do something on First Fridays. They talked about even doing sculptures where the public's engaged by just taking a photo with that sculpture. That's kind of a popular activity with public art, so it's one way to engage the public. We also talked about tying it into the Art Las Vegas project. So
that's
they're
different.
definitely on board. They definitely understand what we want to do. Specifically how that's going to happen, we'd like permission to staff to work with the committee and the artists to proceed.
Commissioner Blute?
Yes, is Zappos no longer involved in this area?
I think if we write up sort of a press release about the project and submit it, that they'll include it in their First Friday email blasts and their Facebook invites and information. But I haven't talked to him for a while,
Yeah.
to be honest. But I think Alex works with them a lot now. So.
And
sure
they've got
that's
some
true.
problems right now.
I don't see it listed. Refresh my feeble brain here once again. Was there a dollar amount attached to this?
It was $48.50.
Yes.
And that is something that we might have an action on too. I was wondering if there is a cost, a rental cost for storage that they might need. Could that come out of a maintenance budget instead of their honorarium? Because I don't have a dollar figure.
Okay.
Sorry, what did you say, Maura? I'm sorry.
If there
What
would
was
be a
For them, I'm sorry.
Explain the
What was the
$48.50 first.
$48.50?
$48.50 was what we had in the budget at the annual planning meeting to do this project.
And that would
For
cover,
them?
that would cover artists' honorariums, it
Yeah.
would cover
Material.
rental of booths,
Mhm.
And the more
supplies,
artists, the
so
less they get, right?
it's a pretty slim
Mhm.
budget.
Unless some of them are doing it for the experience and the fun and some of the lead artists divide up the honorarium.
So, yes?
Commissioner Grogan?
Well, I think what we're aiming at is probably a whereas resolution of about 2 or 3 bullet points where we continue to support this. So
Correct.
if somebody down on that end would like to create it.
Well, I would just like a clarification. I want to make sure that I understand, because Mara brought up the rental fee. You're saying we've got that budgeted, Lisa? That's all
We
that
have
was
the
all part of the
4850.
4850?
Yes, as part of the annual projects
For
plan.
tents and things.
But we could take it from that.
We could,
Yeah.
no, I think what we're looking at is possibly over and above. Is that our understanding?
Yes, I budgeted for,
To leverage this budget a little bit, like for expenses that aren't directly related to the artists and supplies. It's just that I think they're going to want to include multiple artists. That's going to really chop down the budget, or slice up the pie pretty thin. So we were thinking if, say, you wanted to use money out of maintenance perhaps to leverage their costs, say if we had to get storage rental, things that would take
Okay.
kind of a chunk out of their
So
budget.
Gas
here's my
transport
question
the
then.
raw
Are we
material.
And I
good
have
with
a
the
question,
4850? That's all I need to know.
yes, I think we approved that.
Right. but
That's
are-
been
are-
approved, and they know that's the budget.
Okay.
We, after talking to them, we thought perhaps because there's so many artists potentially involved and really good ones, we thought we would bring up the discussion
Okay.
if leveraging.
If some of the
budget.
ancillary costs, could come out of maintenance or
Okay.
something.
I
Mara,
was
did
just
you
concerned
come
about
up
the
with a
bottom line.
dollar figure? Did you, I just didn't hear you. When you first talked about increasing the budget, did you give a dollar figure? Just a few
No.
minutes ago, when
Oh.
you said we'd like to be at 4850,
No.
but we'd, oh, okay.
I didn't give a
I
dollar
wasn't sure.
figure.
I just didn't think I heard it.
I'm not sure about the
Storage costs.
the storage
Mhm.
cost,
Okay.
or even if there would be one.
Well, I don't want us to have to come back and readdress this again. So that's why I'm asking about the 4850. Is it all inclusive? Are we good? And if we are, then I would entertain a motion.
I guess it is.
I have a question on a point of order. Are we supposed to discuss it after it's been seconded, or we don't second, but we have to wait to discuss it until the motion? Okay, because I still have questions.
Let me entertain the
Okay.
motion. Mara?
The motion is to move forward with the project with these artists that we've met with, and am I leaving anything out, Lisa?
I think as with Anthony Munez as the coordinator and Jesse Smidel as the lead artist.
And the collaborators that he brings in, and move forward with their interactive plan.
Within current budgeted
With the current
amount.
budget.
Yes.
Okay, good. We have the motion.
Okay.
Commissioner Reiner?
Thank you. Okay, so my question again, I think would be to your point, Rob, maybe we do increase it, question to Lisa, budget-wise, how are we tracking? We're in February, our budgets will
We're in-
basically shut down in May.
Right. I haven't spent as much money on the maintenance as was allocated because we really had no idea what was coming along. But I think if we put 500 to 1,000 aside for rental, maybe equipment rental for this project over the next 3 months, I'd still have funding to address framing issues that come up and things like that, so.
Then my suggestion would be that we increase it to not to exceed $5,850.
5,000.
That it would come-
1,000 more.
So we'll need to change the motion.
That's just my suggestion.
Okay.
And that we don't come back anymore, that you're empowered to move forward with it, but know that that's your ceiling.
But that's,
How do the rest of the commissioners feel about that?
So we don't know how much storage will be, and we don't know if there's a rental fee or how much it is, right?
for, if they were to get a storage unit,
Right.
yes. I'm not sure they'll even need one. He seemed to think they would. The plaza is locked now, and so I guess there is capability to lock it in between. he seemed confident too that he could get a large tarp to put over everything. But I put in an inquiry. I haven't gotten a quote back on just what it costs to have just one of these orange boxes there to hold things. And
How does 5850 sound to you?
that sounds like plenty for, if we're talking about just storage. That sounds like
Well,
plenty.
no, with all of
It could
these
be,
artists.
then some of the raw materials and storage.
Artists,
if it can all fit in
honorariums.
that extra
Yeah.
1,000.
Booths, tables, chairs,
Mhm.
and depending on how many artists they finally decide.
And I budgeted
that-
for 3 months.
And this is Arlene, this
spent.
is for 3 months,
Right.
too.
Mhm.
It's not just storage.
Yeah.
So,
No, I know.
okay.
I'm saying,
It's a
With
small
those.
budget,
uh-huh.
but I
I
think
think so.
we can kind of see how this project works out and.
That's your
Fine.
question.
Yeah.
Good. Any other comments?
Would it make more sense to wait for the artist to come forth with a request or additional proposal? Because it seems like we're not sure how big the work may be or whether or not it needs any additional expenses. So
They can't, since it's ongoing, I think they could come back with that down the line and say, well, now we need this, but we're not having a meeting next month, so it wouldn't happen for them until the March meeting, and then they've got one more first Friday.
Yeah, so we.
But that's an option.
Yeah. I mean, they could come back to us, I guess, for a secondary request, but it might be better at this point that we handle this all at once, so we don't have to come back to this, to go to Nancy's point about upping this by 1,000.
Well, it would be almost 5,850, up it by $1,000.
Yeah.
And just cap it.
Do you want to put a cap on the artist's fees? Do you want
That's-
to decide that now out of this budget, how much the artist's fees are not to exceed?
If 4,850 can go, if
What did
the
you-
1,000 can cover everything else, and then the 4,850 can be completely for artists' fees. Is that
And
what you mean?
supplies,
Because, and raw materials, supplies and fees.
But you don't know if you have 5 artists or 20.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. What was the original proposal to pay the artist, like 300 per artist?
It was something close to that,
It
if I
came out
recall.
to, we were looking at theoretically about 3 artists before, and it came out to about 1,400 each. More like 1,200, because that was for 1 month of tents and rentals. But they may not need all those tables. So.
I think we should just stick with this budget, use it for what you need to use it for. After it's over with, give an accounting to what was spent out of it and for what. I mean, what did the artist, what did each, because you're right, the artist numbers are, and this list may not be inclusive, it may shrink or grow a little bit. So it seems like it's one of those art projects that's kind of like an art happening, and it's an exciting project, and you just need to say, here's your budget. At the end of the day, you'll come back maybe to the commission with where all the money went, of course.
Yeah.
And the thing that I think is missing from this thing to me is the title.
Yeah.
It's a confusing title, and I think if you guys could just come up with a name for it.
A little
Yeah.
sizzle.
We talked
we
to
did.
the artist about that, too.
Yeah.
We said,
We need
you
some
can
sizzle.
brand this.
Yeah.
We
Like,
talked about calling it Public Place as
Yeah.
kind of a generic title.
for the
but-
program, sort of, and then,
And then everybody
They
can
have-
come in and,
Need some sex appeal.
so.
yeah.
That would be my advice.
Just to be clear, Nancy, when you said stick with this budget, are you meaning 5850 rather than 4850?
5850
Okay.
would be with this suggested increase of
Okay.
Excuse
1,000.
Mr. Chair, do we need to change the motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we'll,
I
Well,
think,
can
I
you-
think
Should I
Commissioner
amend?
Diener would need to amend the
actually,
motion.
we need to rescind that motion that
Okay. You
Commission,
want to rescind?
Vice Chair Perrin made, so
Oh, okay.
whoever wants to rescind.
I
the
rescind
motion.
my original motion.
Okay.
Thank you. And Commissioner Diener, would you like to make the new motion?
I make the motion to be worded just like what Maura said, but increase the budget by $1,000 to a ceiling of $5,850. And with the suggestion that the artist, the whole group, come back with a name for this project.
Okay. Thank you. That's the motion. Any other discussion, questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thanks, Mara. Nice.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thanks
Thank you,
for
fellow commissioners.
working on this. It's not been the easiest of
No,
projects,
and
has it?
it'll be nice to activate that plaza on First Fridays.
Yeah.
Like herding cats.
Right. Item number 6 for report and possible action regarding appointments by the Arts Commission Chair to Project Committee. That's plural, committees. And we've got, let me get to it here.
Did you get committee, a list of committees in your folder?
No, I'm looking at item 6 and it's not there. So if you've got that, if you could hand it out, that'd be great. Well, if it is, it's not in order. It's item 6. I don't have it.
Item 6.
Agenda 9.
Oops.
What you have is
Oh, this is it.
the old committee list.
This is the old one.
And what I'd like to do is just go through it and update it,
These are all
because
the
we're
same.
going to have to add a few,
Okay, so first and foremost, we've got Artist Selection Process Committee. Currently, we've got Commissioners Diener, Schneider.
Excuse me on a point.
Yes?
Did we have a discussion many meetings ago that on the subcommittees by county law, we can't have public members on the
right,
subcommittees?
and we're going to go through and
Okay.
just formally delete those,
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same.
if that's okay.
Okay, so the artist selection process.
That,
I'm looking to staff for
that
suggestions
seems
here.
fine, unless
Okay.
somebody else wants to get on that committee.
Artist selection.
And I would.
And that was really
That's for the-
Nancy, what was that committee? That committee was established for, to review the process for
Yeah.
artist selection. Do we still want to keep that committee?
I don't know that we've really met up once we got that all put together.
Okay.
So it may be a committee that has served its
If we
purpose.
approve that policy,
Yeah.
is that for
So-
picking the fast track artists?
Yeah, and how that all worked out.
So we don't,
So
we delete that from the list then?
This committee should be deleted, is that what I'm hearing?
I'm thinking
Artist
so.
selection
Okay.
process.
Any
Yeah.
comments on that?
Again, question, because the commission itself would be selecting the artists. So this artist selection committee was the process.
Yes.
Have we notified all new commission members that we were going to be adding, or should we suggest to the ones who aren't here, the
Yeah.
ones that are here, please volunteer?
It's on the agenda.
Yeah, I thought it was implicit, but I
Okay.
could be wrong.
Or maybe it should be just renamed, because we do
Yeah,
have to
citizen
update
chair.
that fast track list every couple of years. That's part of the policy, I think.
And a couple of them aren't here.
And so there's a committee that does that, that
Mhm.
reviews those submittals.
Do we want to change the name to the Fast Track Selection Committee? Or that,
Something
That's
like
fine.
that.
you want to keep that as a standing committee? All right, so we'll keep that as the Fast Track.
So we're,
Okay.
to be clear, we're
Renaming
renaming
it.
this
It's
The
really a
fast-
different committee.
Fast
That's
Track
it-
Committee.
Yeah, it's a new, it's
Yeah.
a separate.
You see the
committee,
names?
actually.
Anyone else want to serve on this committee?
So then what is it? Same
It's-
thing?
No, it's a totally different committee. This committee was about the process, to sit and talk
Okay.
about how we would.
Yeah,
And we came
but
up
I
with the
don't see
fast track
the
process.
other committee here.
So the fast track committee would be the committee that would convene every 2 years when we vet the artists that go out
Oh.
through an RFP through purchasing.
So shouldn't Jared Chepchik be on that?
I think he would be great on it, and that's an
Right,
important,
He's not here.
it's an
Put
important
him on it.
committee.
I can contact him and ask.
Okay, if you could do that, that would be great.
That's the
Yeah.
perfect way to do it. You put people on the committee
Yeah.
that aren't here.
That's right.
Exactly.
Sure.
Teach them.
It's a good thing Blaine's here.
No, Jerry would be wonderful.
And I see Jerry and a few others often enough. I mean, if we need another one on that committee, I'm happy to do it.
Great.
Great.
Done.
Okay, City Hall. We've got McCoy, Diener, Blute, Smith. And, I was about to say this will probably end with the opening of the new City Hall, but I'm thinking it's
No,
not going to
it won't.
because of what we're actually
Right.
thinking about doing.
Right,
So
it
we need to
won't
keep
end.
this in place.
More art.
Yeah, yeah.
This
But
com-
also, we have members that aren't on the board on this committee, don't we? Pink and
Oh, Mary Warner.
Mary Warner.
Right. And I'm assuming they want to continue to serve.
And I think they're more of a consultants.
Mhm.
They're for
They're
our project.
consultants.
Okay,
Okay, so do we see any issues with this as it is, or should we move on?
move on.
All right, donations, Public Art Advisory Committee.
What's that?
We've got Denton, Parrott, Grogan.
And then we have to, the committee members were notified they can no longer serve.
That would be Cornwait and Swenson.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anybody else that wants to serve on that committee?
That's for donations, when donations.
That's the
Mhm.
public art, yeah.
It's a really
Arlene,
important.
did you?
She was talking to you about.
It's when people donate art, and you tell them, no, we can't take it?
Something.
That's
Sure.
what the committee
Yes, we
does.
can.
Keep in mind that I think as chair, I'm basically a member of all of
That's
these
right,
committees.
yeah.
So
Right.
I think last year the donations committee was fairly effective for
Yes.
going through a lot,
Right.
so.
I think so too. I think it's a really critical committee.
okay, no
So,
changes.
Arlene, or no?
Sure, I will.
Okay, we'll add Blute. Any other additions or deletions? None? PR and marketing, LVAC website.
I would just like to, again, I think I suggested it again several meetings ago, let's just have a meeting of this committee to ascertain some goals that we can propose to the commission in 2012.
Commissioner Grogan, could I impose upon you to schedule that meeting?
I shouldn't have. Let me push my red button off. Sure, I would be happy to coordinate with Lisa to do so.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Any other comments? Okay. UNLV Public Art Class, Diener, Smith, Ramirez. Of course, Pasha has been part of this in the past.
And so he's really one of our consultants or liaison.
Can I ask this question about this committee too? Because really, it's really more about the lecture series now.
It's
Mhm.
more,
Yeah, the
Do
class
we
doesn't
even
exist
need
anymore.
the class? Do we even need this committee since the class doesn't
Probably not.
exist? I think we should do away with the committee.
Done.
and just bring the lecture series to the commission
Yeah,
directly.
yeah.
It worked nicely when we
Pasha
just
presented and,
gave
yeah.
Pasha a stipend to coordinate that.
He came with what he wanted to present. and-
Everybody fine with that?
Yeah.
Alrighty. To the back we go. Gateways.
The project is complete, so we can change that.
It says
It's actually
inactive, so.
the paintbrush gateways, it should be called. And that's, project is completed. Do we
It's
still want to
just-
keep the committee in place?
Why? Is there a
We
reason?
For
approved some training for the
another
lighting
year?
last month, I think, and other than maintenance, it's pretty much.
It's really staff is just handling maintenance right now, so. Do we want to,
No, I don't see
so
the.
we don't need the committee?
Okay.
Oh.
Ixnay. Let's see if the-
Cultural corridor?
We'll see if the clerk can spell that.
I guess she can.
Cultural corridor.
That's complete
That's
as well.
completed, yeah.
Okay.
This is
So.
great.
We're
we'll
just cutting right through bureaucracy.
deactivate.
here.
Like this.
Yeah, this list hasn't been updated in quite a while.
The transit stations,
Those are complete.
okay.
It does say inactive.
But
To the right
I
of
think we
those,
don't
but-
need to keep it on the list.
I would
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. it's just
Veterans
taking a peek.
Memorial?
I'm
Oh,
not.
that's, I don't
That's
think
still
we
out there.
can get rid of this quite yet, can we?
So we'll
Oh,
just keep it as
please.
inactive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
I would keep it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Lewis Corridor,
And that's an old project that just never got funded.
it sure
So-
didn't. We ran out of
Mhm.
dinero. And we had so many good ideas, didn't we,
Yeah,
Nancy?
you did. And the ideas never go away.
Is it worth revisiting, or is it an
I think we
mucho
should keep it
dinero
on the
project?
books and
Okay.
just let it be inactive.
And
Okay.
then we'll change the community to consultants.
Yes.
That will
Yeah.
need to be updated.
Okay. Aerial gallery.
Aerial gallery.
That's kind of ongoing.
It really
isn't
is.
it?
Well, that's the question that I had because they're really who is it? The art.
Dennis Angel?
Well,
It's a
yeah, his
pub-
banners are still up and they still look beautiful. I might add.
Yeah.
He did
Elvis-
an amazing job with those banners. But the LVCVA is looking to put up some banners. Welcome to Las Vegas or welcome to downtown. I'm not sure what they say, and they want to use some of those poles. And so the aerial they're not saying in lieu of the aerial banners, but they're just saying in addition to the poles that we're not using, they'll put up these banners.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a nice idea.
There's quite a few poles that aren't being used.
Yeah.
Poor
Which I have
Commissioner
to count.
Poot is all alone on a couple of these committees, so maybe
Yeah, I
we need to beef
think-
that up.
There needs to be more on the aerial gallery
Yeah,
committee.
why am I alone?
We have
Because
any,
people's terms end.
do we have any volunteers or do we need to pick on?
We're keeping that one?
I think we should keep it inactive but not do away with it because, my thoughts on this were if the LVCVA does these really great banners, might be nice to do something
An artist.
that would go with those banners
Right.
as an art piece. So maybe it's time now, after however many years Dennis's pieces have been up there, to revisit that.
And that's something we can look at for the next
Yeah.
Sure.
annual plan.
Commissioner
Yeah.
Nowak, are you volunteering?
I'll join.
Good.
Cool.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Arlene.
Arlene's tough to work
Very.
with, but
The worst.
just hang in there. This too shall pass. Diversity Sculpture Committee.
What is that?
Oh, this was
You're the last one standing
I
on
think
that.
we need to kind of,
Our
this
meeting
is,
has
gets, yeah. We'll just take this off for now.
yes, let's do that because I really don't even want to discuss this one.
Now, there's a couple committees we need to add.
Pardon?
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
couple committees we want to add.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's,
Fire
and
away.
and you've appointed those already, but I'm going to add those to the list, and that's the DSC Atrium Building.
Mhm.
And that's Commissioners Diener, Parrott, Smith, and Ramirez.
Are we going to be getting a printout of these? The what atrium building?
The
Developer Services Building.
Development Services Center building on Rancho, that's the project we did the fast track on.
Right.
And so,
Oh, I know what you mean.
Who are
Yeah.
the committees?
Didn't you already meet
Commissioner
once?
Denton?
yes.
Yeah.
And they've been active, but they haven't been formally added to this
Yeah.
list, so.
I think we lost Commissioner Denton.
Oh, we did?
Commissioner Denton?
Yes?
Oh, sorry.
Ah.
I thought we had lost you for a minute. Sorry.
Nope, I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
So the Development Services Center building on Rancho, or we call it the Atrium Building for short, we've had Commissioners Nancy Diener, Maura Parrott, which is standing in originally for Commissioner Grogan, who couldn't, so Maura Parrott has come in, Mario Smith and Omar Ramirez
Okay.
are the four commissioners that are, and including Commissioner Grogan, are the four original commissioners on it.
Can I ask a question? And Marv, thank God for you for stepping in because I've had a couple of meetings. I haven't been able to go to this at all just because of meeting conflict. Poor Lisa's pulling her hair out because it also involves the directors of other departments too. So these are hard meetings to schedule. Have Mario or Omar come to any of these?
Mario came to one.
He did? Okay, good. Okay, well,
Okay, so you'll
I'm
officially
good.
add this one?
So Commissioner Grogan, are you okay with this list?
Yes.
Okay, and then we have the Boulder Plaza Community Engagement Project, which we're going to rename. And that's Commissioners Parrott, Smith, Epstein, and Blute. So we're okay with that?
Who was before me?
Alexandra Epstein.
Oh, hi.
And I'll update this list and email it out to
Okay,
everyone.
great.
And then we have the Mayor's Urban Design Award Committee, which kind of served their purpose, but we can, it's a committee that's going to be active every year. So we can just keep it updated on the list until the next year. And that's Commissioners Rob McCoy and Candy Schneider.
Yes. So those are our committees. I guess we can take all of these in one fell swoop and approve them. So I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any discussion? Additional comments, thoughts?
9, 10. Great.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number 7 for report and possible action regarding final approval of the artwork currently being produced by Sean Russell and Zach Ostrowski for the new City Hall, Ward 5. We did look at their art, where they're at in the process. I know we had a meeting scheduled at the new City Hall to see some of the installation, but they're not ready for us yet.
Correct.
So how do we want to proceed on this?
Well, this basically is on the agenda because the
Is-
projects will be coming, it's on the agenda for discussion because the projects will be coming due in February. And we're planning to install them mid to late February before City Hall opens for business, I believe, on March 5th.
10th, I think.
10. And so I just wanted to let the commissioners know, this is the timeline. It will probably not approve the artwork until after it's installed formally by the Arts Commission. And I just wanted to get consensus on that. The committee, of course, I'm going to plan another meeting, hopefully by the end of this month, so
Okay.
the committee can review it.
I would just ask Lisa, are we okay with payment because of the completion there? I think they received their final payment, don't they?
Yes.
How do we pay them their final payment without formal approval
Well,
from the
that's-
Arts Commission?
That's what I'm saying, it's going to
We
have
need to talk about that.
probably wait unless, I mean, I don't know if there's any way for the Arts Commission to meet in February because of the
That's the
City Hall
conundrum.
move. Is there a way for us to meet?
Why can't we meet at Fifth Street School?
We can't meet at Fifth Street School?
Ever?
See, because everything's down. In February, the city's moving,
Well,
and so everything's out of commission.
So there's no city council meetings, no
Oh,
block
except for
development
the city
grant
council.
meetings?
Are there any city
There are.
council
Except for
meetings
city
in
council
February?
meetings. Those are the only meetings.
There are city council
They're
meetings, you
recommended
said.
meetings, but no board meetings.
Well, the Arts Commission, I guess, is wondering how we,
And we have a fiduciary
Function.
responsibility here, so.
Whoever is in charge of the money.
Yeah, I don't have an answer, because it is a
Yeah.
problem. Because, Sean, we need to get the artwork in there. We need to approve it, number one.
Well, we need to
And we need to get it in there, and they need to get paid. Now, I'm not
Right.
quite sure. I mean, we could just not put the artwork in there, but that would go over like a lead balloon.
That's not an option.
Not an option.
So
I-
you're packed up at the Fifth Street School?
No, the Fifth Street School, but the
They
city,
can't
they
do this
can't do
procedure.
it. They can't do it. That's the problem.
Well, people
And this
must
is
continue
packed
to
up.
be paid by the city during February,
They do.
during the move.
Yeah.
So who is that, or what is that department that continues to cut checks?
It's the finance department.
yeah, and that's, Arlene, that's not the problem.
It's
It's the
not.
approval. It's convening the Arts Commission
It's
in
convening the
February,
Arts Commission.
and our hands are tied.
Because
Our
we couldn't
approval?
do it the end of January because they're not technically,
They're
They
not
don't have to be
technically
done
done.
Our approval?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't make a final payment until we sign off on it.
Let me
We
ask
can't
something,
meet?
a question on the technical. Could we not do a phone meeting? Could we not have the commissioners go over and take a look at the art individually, sign up a time that by the twos, because we don't want a quorum, 2 of them go over and sign up, take a look at the art, and we do a phone meeting.
Counselor?
I think, I mean, we have members on the phone now. I think you could do a phone meeting, sure.
Whether-
With all of the commissioners?
I think you might be able to. I could check with Bill, but
In city council,
kind of
Oh.
unusual. I don't know if the city council certainly has never done that.
It would be a one-item agenda, basically.
It's an unusual circumstance.
Because otherwise, we're just kind of stuck here. We don't know, just because of no meeting in February throws all this timeline for approving the art in the new city hall.
I think the only problem I see is you'd have to have one centrally located location or place where the public can come
Right.
For the phone call?
for the meeting and attend it and listen to the members on the phone.
Okay. I can set that up. I have a line that can take, I think I can take up to 7 or 8 calls.
We can have 1 or 2 members be together,
Yeah, absolutely.
so we could get that going.
Right.
Then we do Skype, and then we do
Well,
a
we
few other.
can, we can always use the bridge in my office, which takes
Okay.
several hundred, so.
Okay.
pardon me,
Still get an agenda.
post an
Post an
agenda.
agenda.
Are you allowed to post agendas?
Well, you said it's going to be an item on the agenda, correct?
Can the city clerk post an agenda for the Arts Commission in February?
I mean, that's the thing,
You don't
I
know?
don't know meetings on that, that's why, and I don't want to say.
And that's what I was told also, and that's why this is on the agenda for discussion, because I don't know really how to resolve this.
So then the other alternative would be to not pay him. Have him install his artwork and not pay him until the March meeting.
Till after the March meeting.
And he'd have to be okay with that. They both would have to be okay with that.
Could staff have that conversation with both of them?
Of course.
Sorry.
I mean,
It's not a
it's just tough.
I mean, unless there's a way to have a meeting, that would be our plan B.
You can still.
And it
po-
sounds like we were told not to, the city clerk, they're not going to be up and running.
Or can we push back the March meeting and do it earlier?
Yeah, that's
We
what-
move it up.
But
Move it up a week or 2?
they have so many
We
meetings
can't
scheduled.
Put it in.
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
working
it's
with the
like-
city clerk's calendar.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, just push
It's
back the
very
opening of
fine.
City Hall.
Right.
Yeah, we'll just delay the opening.
Yeah.
Nancy, you'll have that conversation, right?
Yeah, right. I don't think so.
What's the date of the opening?
I think it's March 10th.
So is there it's a sort of elaborate
No, March
installation
5th is the grand
involved in getting these in there?
Pardon?
March 5th is the grand.
Yeah, I thought it was the 5th.
March 5th? Oh,
Okay,
really?
so
Oh,
it's the
okay.
5th. Well, maybe that's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. If no one objects, let's leave this in the hands of staff to massage this issue and let us know how we're
Okay.
going to proceed.
Would you like to hold that in abeyance?
You mean
Would
to
you
the
like hold that
artist?
item?
Yes, we'll hold this in
Right.
abeyance.
We'll have to.
To when?
Till our March meeting? The
Are
next
are you
March-
mean to speak to the artist,
Yes,
to wait till March?
that is
They'll have
March
to be
15th.
installed. They'll be
Okay.
installed.
Well, the plan is to get them installed. Legally, we're actually would be in violation of what we're supposed to be doing. We're in violation of our own contract.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure how to get around that.
Counselor, we're violating our own contract.
I mean, the only other
I-
alternative would be to not have them there for the opening.
No. That's all.
You could get the artist to waive.
Yeah. The fees. Yeah, their money.
You
I'll
could
talk to
ask
finance.
the artist to actually waive the payment date until,
Yeah.
or extend the payment date. It's not going to be a real big thing if we can get them to accept the proposition of paying them after the first meeting.
Yeah.
You amend the contract a little bit.
I think that you're contractually bound
Okay.
to pay by the terms of the contract, but I haven't seen the contract. But due to this unique circumstance, maybe the artist will agree to extend the date of payment.
And it'll just be their final payment.
Yeah, it's-
I mean,
right.
they're being paid based on
How many installments do they
line
have?
items. Each one has different.
Okay.
It depends on the work. They're being billed against work completed as it's completed, and they're subcontractors.
Thank you, Commissioner Denton, for keeping us on track.
Thank you.
And thank you too, Paul.
Okay, so we're fine. Staff is going to try to resolve this with the artist. If there's an issue, I'm sure Lisa will let us know what that is. And we will hold this.
Lisa and Nancy, if you have a problem, you can call me, and we can talk about it.
Okay.
And then we can bring in Mr. Sylvain if necessary.
Sounds good. I don't, you know what, I think that's the most logical course of action. It's probably really our only avenue. Hopefully the artist will agree. And Lisa's point is a good one. It's not as if there's a huge check here. It's just their final payment, which is important to these artists in a big way, but I'm sure that hopefully they'll understand. So,
Are we still approving it or holding it?
we're holding it in,
Yes.
And I
Yes.
appreciate you
Do we need a vote to
discussing
hold
it.
this in abeyance or not? We're just holding it, right? This is at the discretion of the chair? I don't know.
I just hold it in abeyance.
I think you make a motion.
Okay.
Motion to approve what you just,
No, motion to hold it in abeyance.
Okay, I'll entertain that motion.
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Citizens' participation? I see no citizens.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, who made the motion for the abeyance? Sorry.
It was Commissioner Grogan. Mhm. Seeing no citizens' participation, we're finished with the formal part of the agenda. Anybody have any comments or announcements, fun things? Anybody doing anything fun? No. Okay, well, that's depressing.
They put a pad down at Metro Park to move the big police rock up there by the memorial that we helped fund.
That's fine.
So it's
I
going to be a
just saw it the
rolling
other
rock.
day. I don't know how they're going to transport that large rock.
So our next meeting then is March, regular meeting is March,
March 15th.
okay.
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
There's a motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank
Bye.
you, Commissioner.
All right.
Are we offline?